Woot put it in the way, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flicker by Alan Armstrong.
It's against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
And trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, it's there!
Not got it clear. Please, sir! It's a cracker!
Running Armstrong, played in again, and a superb goal!
Tony did it! Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Hello and welcome to Scarpa, the Stockport County podcast for fans by fans in partnership with the ECCC. See what I've done there? Got a new one going. Cheers, Andy, for that. Loads to talk about this week, despite it seemingly like not a lot's happened, but there is loads to talk about, and I'm joined to talk about it for the night with Andy, Waggy and Stu. You all right, boys?
Evening.
Evening. How's it going?
How are we feeling?
Yeah,
good. How are we all feeling? We all feeling good about the running?
Oh, it's mega. It's going to be awesome. I'm still confident we're going to get second. I'm pretty sure Waggy's still confident we're going to get second. We'll dive into it later on, but love it. This time of year is probably my favourite time of any football season. It's just because, especially for County, because we're either at the top or at the bottom, and we haven't been at the bottom for a long time, have we? So
it's true.
It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. What a time to be a County fan.
What are you going to be like when it's just a mediocre season in the Championship next year?
It won't.
It's just
the Premier League the season after.
That's it, yeah. We need names, don't we? I was thinking about this today, like Rational Russ, Waggy's Rants, Positive Andy. But I was thinking we could have names like something that like alliteration, and Sensible Stew, perhaps.
Bloody hell! He's just been branded. Stu, you've just been branded boring.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. I'll take that. That's fine. I can live with that. On a live podcast. Cheers for that, Russ. Appreciate that, mate.
It's all right. It's all right. I was just because it's S. I could have come up with shithouse Stew, but I didn't. I said sensible Stew. See, that's better, isn't it? You see.
So well, boring and shithouse. Wow.
I got positive. What's that got to do with A?
Well, no, because I couldn't think of an A. I could think of one.
Ambitious Andy.
There you go. Ambitious Andy. I like it. Yeah. Yeah. One for W, Stu, while we're here.
Wank.
No,
what? Wacky is a good at banking.
Anyway, we've got loads to get through, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Grecians, Millers, players, young players of the season, goals of the season, aesthetics in football, Edgeley Park, County Ladies, getting reses. And I think that's probably enough for 1 week, isn't it? There's loads to talk about. And I'm sure we'll think about other stuff as we go along, won't we? So welcome to everybody that's joined the live chat. Do get involved in the chat. That would be really, really good. Thank you very much. Start with Exeter. Nice away win. Woot a performance, as the title of the show is. Getting good at these titles.
If you only had 10 years of practice.
I know,
yeah. Yeah.
I think, for me, Kyle Wootton's been, and he is week in, week out, our most underrated performer. He gets so much stick, generally around because he doesn't score, 15, 20 goals a season. But look at what he does do.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak. I think some of his stick is justified. Not all of it, and don't get me wrong, I've held my hands up over the last 6 months. And I do like Wootton. I liked him when we first signed him. I've made no secret of that. But some of his stick is justified. Like that plain sitter that he missed. He just misses too many of those chances. And if he bags those, then that's the goal argument that people seem to have a go at him about, that he doesn't score enough goals. He's not consistent enough in front of goal, and he gets the opportunities. So you can't say he doesn't get the opportunities, because he does, but he just doesn't finish them. But what he does for the team is just brilliant, and he's totally proved me wrong this season.
Do you think he's a contender, a contrary contender for player of the season, or do you think he's nowhere near that?
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't say he's nowhere near it, but I think there's much better candidates for it. And I think obviously we will go into that later on. But I think there's probably, for me, 3, 4, maybe 5 players I would say are above him for player of the season.
5?
I think so.
I think that's a big number, Waggy. Yeah. But yeah, I generally agree with Waggy on that one. He's not, I wouldn't say he's nowhere near it, but there are, I would say, probably 2 or 3, 4 maybe players that I'd probably pick in front of him.
Nice. So we'll come to that later, because the voting is open for the Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year. I think Young Player of the Year is probably nailed on, but we'll come to that later anyway. We won't spoil it for that. And Goal of the Season as well. Exeter on Saturday, it was a brace from Wootton. I'm going to admit this. I missed the first half because I was on a bit of a mooch and a pub crawl around Marple. Got back home for the second half and was a bit tipsy. So even at that time in the afternoon, don't mind admitting it, I didn't really see much of it. I mean, I know the lads covered it on the Courtyard Club call on Sunday and Monday. Anyone stand out? What was the sort of synopsis of the game?
Well, for me, it was a fast start, early goal. Fevs looked really good again. Diamond was looking pretty decent. Tanto, I think he had a really good, that first half. He was brilliant, and he's obviously laying it on the plate. I know we've said a lot of times that he's an instinct player, but he seems to be getting his head up a bit more and being able to make those decisions now. And the ball that he put in was as good as you're going to see from anybody. It was right into that danger area where it was in between. The keeper couldn't really come out for it. Their defender couldn't touch it because he's likely to put it into his own goal. And Wootton's just there at the back post just to pop it in. It was absolutely brilliant.
The corridor of uncertainty.
Yes, there you go.
That's what it's called.
First off, we blew him away. We blew him away really within 20 minutes. And then it was just literally, it was really cruise control. Not like Burton where we sort of let them in. We literally just carried on controlling the game. And I think the lad said it on the club call was any changes that they made to their system or anything to try and like get an edge, we just adapted. We just changed around and just kept control of it. As you say, it was probably one of the dullest second halves that we've had, but in a good way, because it just meant that we was in utter control. They never really threatened us at all. So Curry and I could have had the day off.
He probably would have still got some stick for that as well. Yeah, totally agree, Waggy. I don't like scoring early because I sometimes think that we're not then going to get another, or we're just going to try and peter out the game. But we scored early, we carried on pressing, and I thought first half it was good, but nothing major. I just think over the whole 90 minutes, we didn't need to go up a gear. No, not one moment did I think, ooh, this is nervy. We just didn't need to do anything more than what we needed to do. And especially when we've got a few players injured at the moment, we need as many fit bodies as possible going into this final 5 games. So if it means us being 2-0 up and it being the dullest watch ever, I'll take it. I don't care.
Yeah. I think we just looked really comfortable, whereas the back end of the last couple of seasons, even last season when we won League Two, we always get a bit nervy and we sort of seem to struggle to pick up points or put performances in. But this season, it just doesn't feel like that. And Saturday epitomised that for me. Started fast, 2 early goals, and we were just, like Waggy said, in cruise control.
Yeah, if there's the one more thing I'll add as well, I nearly went to that game because it was my birthday weekend, but I dropped out because I'm out on Saturday. So I thought I don't want a divorce 2 weekends in a row. So so the fine balance, I decided not to go. But I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty gutted. After seeing the pictures, the fancy dress, every single person I've spoken to has said, what a day out. Probably best away game they've done in a long, long time. So, but hats off to all those that did fancy dress. You looked amazing. I'm very, very jealous that I wasn't there getting absolutely pissed out of my face with
mullered.
But I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, but a couple of things about that. For me, that Diamond, there's 2 players that are probably going to really help us in this running. Diamond's one of them. He seems to be coming to the fore a bit more, doesn't he? Bit more of the player we hope we'd signed, I think. Can go inside, can go outside, that kind of thing. So really, really good. And then Corey Adai as well. He's just elevating himself with every passing game. I know. Yeah, he was quiet on Saturday, but there seems to be a bit of, I don't know what it is. It just seems to be elevated confidence with him. I just feel it in him when he comes out, from the tunnel. I don't know if any of you agree with that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think Ben getting injured has probably worked really well for Adai, because we all know about the start and we've all talked about that till we're blue in the face. But he's come back in and he looks a different keeper. I think his long distribution is really good. I know Charlie talks about wanting to play out from the back and all that, but I think Adai's long distribution is really, really good, really accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fevs, someone's mentioned Fevs as well. Fevs could be key in the last few games. I think so as well. I think him and Diamond, I think it's almost like, it's all that old cliche, innit? It's almost like 2 new signings in a way, because Diamond's starting to do what he's probably capable of doing. And then Fevs is coming back, and he's been injured up most of the season, hasn't he, I think?
Yeah, definitely. I think you say Diamond is why we brought him in. Just unfortunate that we re-signed Barry. I think that was the biggest problem. If we hadn't re-signed Barry, I think Diamond would have been up there as for player of the season. I think he'd have had a really good run in the team and really done what Barry's done, basically, or what Barry did. I think he was just unlucky with that. Yeah, Fevs has been unlucky with injury, and for Adai, it looks as if somebody has cut that cord, haven't they, that keeps him.
That was good timing.
Yeah, goodbye, Russ. See, told you they'd like me.
For the audio listeners, Russ is still here, but the camera has gone.
Yeah, I think he's cut that cord, hasn't he? He doesn't stand on his goal line. He's coming out and collecting balls and commanding his area and being that full 6'8" player that he actually is. I think there was a bit of a mix-up, wasn't there, with Pye on Saturday, but I don't think that was his fault. I don't know if did you remember seeing it, Andy? There was a ball that came over. Pye was in control of it. He was running with it, and an extra player was running alongside him, and he was shouting at Adai to come for it, and Adai didn't, and I think he had to put it out for a corner. But I don't think that was Adai's issue.
You're right. Adai comes for that, and they both lose it. It's a goal. So, what if Pye's that worried about the ball? Kick it out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in charge now. This is where it goes downhill.
Wah, 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 wah.
But yeah, I do agree. I just think overall the game, we just needed a win, and we got it, and it was very, very comfortable. We didn't need to get out of second gear, as I say. But
no, definitely not.
Like you said before, Andy, it just didn't feel nervy. It was like, well, it just doesn't feel like they're going to score one and then it'll get nervy. It just didn't even. It just felt like, well, this is just a breeze now.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else to add around the Exeter game?
No, not really. Good to see Powell get a run out again.
Yeah, good to see Powell out. Yeah.
I think, as you say, talking about Fevs and Diamond, I think he's a player that will make a real difference as well. Because he's just his football intelligence, he's same level as Norwood, isn't he? He's just switched on, looks so good. And I think other players now, because we've improved our quality and the players around him have improved, I think that can only make Powell look better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
is Powell's season contract up at the end of the season? Or has he got another year?
He's got another year. He's got another year. Yeah.
Isn't it great? We've got Powell and Norwood in the same team. Unbelievable.
It's madness, that, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I know somebody somewhere will moan about me saying it, but what, 6-7 years ago? Well, yeah, 6-7 years ago. Would you have thought that 2 ex-Premier League players, all right, maybe a little bit past the prime or at the autumn of the prime, let's say?
We've gone from Chris Churchman to Ollie Norwood.
Yeah, Chris Churchman. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's some change in it. I'm back, by the way. Sorry about that. Having technical issues. Hello. Yeah, a couple of things that I don't know what you were talking about, so I'll just jump in with this. On players, though, Mingy, the forgotten man. It's almost like pre-match or through the commentary. He's not mentioned. Not mentioned anywhere, is he? To be fair, so are we just? Is it another Russell Benjamin? For those that remember him, was it Russell Benjamin and other players that seemingly just sort of disappeared? Have we seen the last of Mingy?
I don't think we have. I think, like Charlie said, however many months ago, he just needs fitness. Whatever type of fitness that is, because obviously there's various types. I think they've worked on that this season, and then he'll give him a pre-season. If he stays injury-free, I think he'll be a really good addition to the side next year, whether we're in League One or the Championship.
Can I ask a question? And I know I'm not normally allowed to ask questions, especially being third chair. But in like Football Manager, when you've got a player that comes to you and says, I'm not happy, I'm not settling in, etc., etc., and the options are, well, you can have a 2-month break. Does this really happen does that really happen in football? So could it? I'm not saying this is what happened to Mingy, but could he have just not settled and he's gone to the manager saying, I just need, does that then look bad on him? Again, I'm not saying this is what happened in case I get clipped or whatever, but I'm just saying you play the game of Football Manager and there's scenarios that come at you and think, would that really happen? Players going off for a month because they're not settling in well?
If it's mental health issues, then it's only the same as anybody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're dealing with humans at the end of the day, aren't we? So, and workplaces are very much more relaxed, aren't they? Not relaxed, modern, should we say?
Aware.
Aware compared to what they used to be. So if somebody does go, I'd like to think at County, and maybe every club, but specifically County, if a player went to the manager or went to the management and said, "Look, I'm really struggling," or whatever reason, not settling, homesick, all this kind of stuff, I'd like to think we'd treat them as a human and let them do their thing.
Yeah, they do something to help them, won't they? Because you get that impression with Mark Stott. That's how he wants the club to run.
Yeah.
And, I'm pretty sure that he's got the people in place to work to a similar ethic. So, I would think, Andy, in answer to your question, I would think it probably does happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We've got a question coming in. So do get your questions in for the panel. I like that. Neil Deakin, question for the panel. Look at that. If Reading lose their league status, will County lose their 6 points? I think we will be more affected than anyone else at the top. Yeah, because we've done the double over at Reading, haven't we? I'm not sure what happens there. I'll be honest with you.
How many of the other top 6 have done the double over Reading?
I don't know. But it's more of a point of if they are expelled or whatever, are they taken? Are these results take it away?
I don't think so, because I think like the likes of Bury and Macclesfield, when they've gone out of business, I don't recall that the other teams have had their points taken away. But
what year was it? What year? There was a year where something like that happened, though, wasn't there? Recently,
there was a year where that happened. I'm sure we got. Did we get points? I'm sure it happened to us. I can't remember when though.
It wasn't that long ago.
Do you think of the COVID season when it came down points per game? No,
it was something. We played a team. I can't remember who it was, and something happened. They folded or went into liquidation. But because we beat them, but hadn't played them yet, we lost 3 points or something.
Yeah, if anybody knows in the comments, do comment in, because I seem to remember that.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But what a stupid rule, though. I'm sorry, but if you've played them and the game's gone, how is that the team who's won?
Well, what about the 5 teams that they've got to play then? Do you give them 3 points?
It's a good point, yeah. I mean, do you take points off everybody that they've earned, because then it's equal, because the teams that they're going to play haven't earned any points, have they? So it's only fair
you all have to play or have points of the same number of games, don't you? Or you have to play the same number of games. So, all right, you might have played this same team twice. You'll remove the 2 games, but at the end of the season, it'll all even out.
Yeah. Was it Dover? I'm not sure. I can't.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll have to have a look into that one. I said.
I do remember Dover refused to play for the end of the season, didn't he? Didn't he just make everybody redundant or something stupid? There was something. Dover didn't finish the season, did they?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was the COVID season. It was something to do with furlough, wasn't it? They couldn't afford the furlough or whatever it was, something like that.
Do you know what? I think you're right. I think that's it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now you say it. I think you're right, mate. But don't forget as well, this is the EFL, not the National League. So they're different rules, isn't they? Mark Morgan says that it was on TalkSport. They'll finish the season. So.
Oh, that's good.
So, but they might get.
I don't even know what's going on with
them. Well, they're just in all sorts of shit, aren't they? From a financial perspective and an owner perspective.
Right. The owner's been told he needed to sell the club by yesterday originally, but they've extended it till the 22nd of April. He needs to sell the club because he's not fit to be a director of a football team in the EFL. So he's been basically banned. So he's got to sell it, and they've extended it because they're saying that he needs more time to get his basically ducks in order. So they've got till the 22nd to find a new buyer.
Guess he needs to get his ducks in order. Is that a mix of house in order and ducks in a row?
Yeah,
like that.
Get his house
ready. He's that fucked up. You've got to put these things together.
I love how it all just sort of gelled together, Waggy. It was seamless, mate. Seamless.
That's why I'm here.
I'm here all week.
Yeah, try the veal.
I was thinking that. I wasn't going to say it.
I don't get it. What do you mean?
I didn't think anyone would get it.
What do you mean? Try the veal.
Well, that's what. Yeah, but it was comedians in the 70s, didn't they? Used to go, I'm here all week, and then they'd be doing food, so we go try the veal, to promote the food that's in the working men's club or whatever. And he used to do meat raffles and stuff.
Playing the young one of the group card again, isn't he?
I know, yeah, like you don't know.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Russ.
He looks the oldest, but he's actually the youngest.
I know. The thing is, though, I am an old man in nature. My wife calls me an old man. Just stupid thing. I've got my own hotline to the council. There used to be a family joke years ago saying that when my grandpa was alive, that when he'd ring the council, they would go, is it Reading Roy or Reading Andrew? So. Anyway.
You've got a hotline to the council, Andy. Can you have a word with them about the ground development?
Yeah.
He was the councillor they spoke to.
What, me?
Didn't get an answer because he was pissed.
I mean, let's talk about that now before we move on to. In fact, we don't need to really cover Rotherham, or should we just do it briefly? We've got an opposition preview coming out at 10 o'clock tonight. That'll be going out to everybody on all the usual platforms. So get that wherever you're listening to this and wherever you get your podcast from. Anything about Rotherham on Saturday? They're a bit in limbo. They're sort of not going down, not going up. Square pegs in round holes. Watch the Oppo preview that I've done. Yeah. Any sort of overall thoughts about Saturday? Comfortable win?
I don't really like playing teams like this. You know, where they've got, because there is that argument to say that, yeah, and that's where they can experiment and just go for it. So I would much rather be playing someone that's either going for top end or fighting for survival, if you ask me. But yeah. Not a lot happening really. But I'm ready to do my prediction, but I'll let someone else have a say. It's not all about me, is it?
No. Stu, what do you think, mate? What are you expecting on Saturday?
Like Andy says, I'd rather play a team who have got something to play for, because they can come out and because they say, don't they? You know, the players are more relaxed, tends to bring a better performance out of them, or they just turn up. They're not asked, they're not interested, and it just becomes a one way street sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one to call. It's either going to be 4 or 5-0 or a boring 0-0 or something daft like that.
I think it'll be the same as Exeter. Exeter haven't really got a lot to play for, and we made them look very ordinary. We were very, very comfortable. I think he's got the attitude of the players right, DC. He knows how to get them motivated for the run-ins. You know, he's been there, done that. We've been there. Most of the players have been there, done that. Players that he's brought in have all got good experience of playoffs and things like that. So it's just a case of we'll just plod on. I think they won 2 out of the last 3. Or was it 3 out of the last 4 since they got rid of Evans? They've had a non-manager bounce or an interim manager bounce, haven't they? I think. But I just think, yeah, I think it'll be comfortable. It'll be 3-0, 4-0, something like that. So,
yeah. Gazando made a good point, didn't he, with the new manager bounce that they won last night? So
They did. They beat Huddersfield away, didn't they? New manager bounce. New manager new caretaker manager, Matt Hamshaw.
Is it?
Wow. He'll turn us around then, won't he?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's that's the first thing that came into my head.
Matty Hamshaw.
Yeah.
The guy who played for us went to Mansfield. From Mansfield.
Yeah. Well, Sheffield Wednesday, I think he came to us from Sheffield Wednesday, did he not? I think.
Yeah, he was a great player, wasn't he?
He was class, yeah.
He was just a bit greedy for us. He's quite a selfish player.
Was he a right winger?
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, but very tricky, but probably played for us at the wrong time for us and for him. In the right team, he could be devastating, couldn't he? But yeah,
Rotherham beat beat Bolton last night. It was Wickham that beat Huddersfield.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, in fact, yeah. No, thanks for correcting me. Did you see the stats from the Bolton Rotherham match? Bolton got football managered. And what I mean by that, for those that don't know, is that Bolton had 35 attempts on goal to Rotherham 6 or something.
36-5.
There you go.
70% possession to 30% possession, and Rotherham had 1 shot on target. 478 to 156 passes. That's just ridiculous. 12 corners to 2 corners.
So Rotherham will be okay without the ball, I'm guessing. But I still think, based on the opposition preview with Matt from New York Talk, I still think I agree with you, lads. I think it's going to be. I'm hoping for a routine 2-0 win.
I'm going for 3-1.
Standard.
Yeah. Get you.
No, actually, I'm going to change my mind. Shut up, Waggy. 3-0. I'm going to go for 3-0.
So that's your second standard. So when you get questioned about 3-1, you change your mind to 3-0.
I must have said every result that, up to about 4 or 5. So, if I say 5-1, oh, there's your 34th standard.
No, just your 2. Only 2 standard.
2.
That's just it.
Okay.
So we've got 2-0. What did you say, Waggy? 5.
I said 3 or 4-0.
Stu?
Well, come on.
I'm going 4-0. I was going to say 3-0, but I'm going to go 4-0.
4-0. Okay.
I'm going to say either 2-1, 3-0, 3-1.
Or 1-0, or 2-1, or 4-0.
You do spread bets, don't you, Andy?
No, I don't bet. To be fair.
What's your prediction, Russ, if he turns us around?
Oh yeah. And can I just say this on that note? What was the game that we won when we were shooting towards the railway end?
Yes,
the 100 people that messaged me when it happens in your favour, Russ, didn't text me on that game, did they?
We never said that we lose. We just said it changes the outcome of the game. We don't score as many.
I'm not getting involved in this again.
He's so wise for such a young man, isn't he?
I am. I know my battles. Russ.
Predictions are coming in. Edward F says 3-0. Cal 1-0 late winner. Eltmetello 9 2-0. Vic Clegg 3-0. What have we got? Dave Whitehead, Dave 1-0. Mark Morley, nervy 2-1. That'll be a nervy 2-1, right? And we'll be shooting towards the Cheadle in the second half, and we'll get a 97th minute winner. Chris Crowther 2-1. And he got Burton right, but he didn't bet it. That Chris Crowther, it must be about 6 matches, 6 results.
He's generally pretty decent with his predictions.
Yeah, he is. Okay, what have we got next? Let's move on to player and young player of the season and goal of the season. Before we do that, though, I just want to play something. There we go. That helps us with our ads and things, you see. Slots it in nicely there. So that'll be a new feature. Anyway, player of the season, young player of the season, and goal of the season. We touched on it briefly. Player of the season. Who's your players of the season? Who do you think it's going to be? Who's this podcast player of the season? And we'll get a certificate to them.
I like that. Who's going first? Waggy?
I've not decided. I've got my short list, as I said.
Oh, he's got a short list. Wow.
Only because I'm looking through. I'm looking through on FotMob.
Does it have 11 players on it?
No, it's got 25 players. I've narrowed it down to 24 because I think the easiest one is young player of the year. I'll start with that. Ethan Pye.
Yeah.
All day, every day. I think if Brad Hills had been here for the full season, I think he'd have pushed him close for it. I think he's done well since he's come in from January, but definitely Ethan Pye. I think player of the season, Hinchliffe, because again, he's stood up. He's gone up another level. He's looked really solid while he's been playing and pushed a die down the pecking order in a way. Connolly has just been absolutely brilliant in all the positions that he's played. Lewis Bate has been really good in the middle of the park. Norwood has been superb. So I think you sort of, and Callum Camps, he's the biggest surprise for me. I didn't think that Camps would be as good as he has been, and he's really influenced games when he's come on and when he's played in the games. So there's my short list. I'll have a think and try and come up with a name from that.
Oh, is that you? Sorry, I thought you was predicting the 11 for Rotherham on Saturday.
Wow.
Oh yeah, the one after that would be Kyle Wootton.
Stu, what are you saying, mate, for player of the year?
Young Player of the Year, Pie, definitely.
Yeah, we're all agreed on that, aren't we?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say with Player of the Year because we haven't had any mega standout performers, all right, other than maybe Ethan Pie, but they've all been of a similar level. Even, the start of the season when it was, we started really well, then we had a bit of a blip. You can't really say there's anybody who's really, really stood out. But Camps, I agree with Waggy. I think Camps is mega, absolutely rate him. Bate, really good. Pie, it's just different class. Fraser Oswald, I know he's been injured for the last few weeks, but I think he's head and shoulders above physically and metaphorically. I'm going to go for Horsfall. Horsfall, Player of the Year. Pie, Young Player of the Year.
Nice.
Can my shortlist include former players, or is this just current players?
Well, what do you mean?
I'm joking. I'm just.
I thought he was going to throw Barry in there. That's why I thought you could go on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No, you can't name Barry, can you? Because he's not our player, is he?
He could still, if he'd have stayed the season, he could have still won Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that now. He's left.
I mean, even if we'd have completely collapsed for the second half of the season and he'd have been the best player, he might have got Player of the Year.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, go on. Sorry, mate.
Pie, definitely. And I'm torn between Bates, Camps, or even Norwood. And I know Norwood took a while to get going, but he just oozes confidence.
Yeah,
he can pick a pass out of nowhere, and he controls that midfield. When him and Bate are together, and even Camps as well. So it's just a joy to watch. And he's not even that quick, is he? But he doesn't need to be. He's like Powell. He knows where to be. He knows exactly where to be. So for me, like Stuart said, no one's really had a massive run out of games, unlike Horsfall and Pie, maybe. But I don't believe that you can give another award to the same player. Spread it out a bit.
Okay. I mean, it's not the under. Go on.
Go on.
I was going to say it's not the under nines where you have to spread it all out. You can give a player two awards if you want.
Well, they can't in my book, Russ. They can't in my book.
Okay.
So I'm giving it Norwood, the player of the season.
Interesting.
In fact, you know what? Just for a bit of controversy, I'm going to say Wootton, Player of the Year.
Go on, Ross. Give us yours.
I mean, Wootton's not that far off for me. I don't think he's down in 5th place, personally. No, mine. It's funny because it's probably the first season in ages where there's not been a clear winner, like a proper standout winner of who it's going to be. But I honestly, I can't look past Ollie Norwood for me. He's just absolutely class. And some of the balls he plays, the switches he's been playing, they're just absolutely class. And that free kick as well.
Oh God, yeah.
He's up there for goal of the season. It doesn't have to be a Barry one, does it? Can we say that? So my pick is Ollie Norwood. That's who I'm going to go for. That's who I'm going to vote for when I get around to voting. So there we go. Young Player of the Year. I take it we're all agreed it's Pie. There is literally nobody else it's Pie. So yeah. Goal of the season. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Go
So at first, when I watched them, I thought, yeah, Louis Barry's against Rotherham. What a goal that was. That was just unbelievable. Every single person, when it left his foot, thought he was going in the bottom right-hand corner. And where did he put it? Not with a lot of pace, to the left-hand side. It was just a beautiful goal. But then I saw the next one, and I thought... no, that one's gone. That one's gone. The Tanto goal against Bolton was just sheer class. It was, and I think that's my goal of the season. The other one that I highlighted was Andressen's against Northampton. What a header! What an unbelievable header to get height and power on that head. But I think for Tanto's, it was that win was needed at the right time, and it was just a pure masterclass from Tanto. It's totally deserved and just what he's about.
He had everything, didn't he, that goal? Pace, power, and he also used his head when he cut inside in front of the centre half, so he couldn't get a tackle and couldn't foul him. Yeah. And all he had to do then was slot it past the keeper.
Yeah. There was one other I was thinking, but I couldn't remember which one it was, which was the one where Camps had just come on and he crossed it. Who scored that one? Was that Benno's goal at the Cheadle end, or was that?
That was Wigan away, was it not?
Yeah, because Camps ran down the left-hand side, didn't he? Was that Bates' goal? Or was that the second one?
Bates, yeah. No, Bate and then Collar scored the second. Yeah. Similar sort of run down the left and across.
Yeah.
Stu, which one are you having, mate? Goal of the season? We're getting people's selections in as well. We'll read some out, but go on, mate.
I mean, it's obviously going to be, I would say, it's going to be the Barry's goal against Cambridge. So let's take that off the table. Norwood's free kick, Tanto's goal against Bolton, or Barry's goal against Blackpool, where he cut inside and sort of didn't really do much, but managed to beat 3 players and then fired it in.
Yeah. I think as well, the Blackpool one and the Bolton one, I think the overall experience of that, the limbs and how excited we got, because the Blackpool one, it felt like we were back in League One when we scored that. It was $3,000 all in that away end, weren't we? And it was just like limbs everywhere. And then the Bolton one just felt like the same. It was such a tight game and a pent up match, wasn't it? That released so much, sort of, not just the goal itself, it was everything around it as well. So yeah, good shout. By the way, I'll go mine. Mine is probably the Tanto goal against Bolton, just for everything around it, not just how good the goal, but the whole thing. Waggy, what's yours? You got a list?
No, it's between two. It's Tanto's goal, because again, as we've mentioned, that won the game. That was the skill, and we've said, sometimes he doesn't make the right decisions once he's got a bit of time on his hands and stuff, and that was absolutely superb. And for me, the other one was Barry's against Wrexham, because that won us the game, and that was just took it, moved half a yard, turned, span, and put it into the top right-hand corner. So they're the two for me.
That Wrexham goal's a good shout, Waggy.
Yeah. They both won the game, didn't they? They both won us the game. So they're torn between those two. Yeah,
absolutely. There's not much difference coming in on the chat. Just going back to Player of the Year. Honourable mention for Crowsdale, who got it at Port Vale. Didn't he? He swept all three. So well done to him. Honourable mention, and the rest.
Off him though, because Andy says he can't have them all 3.
But Crowsdale can do whatever he wants.
They do what they want. They do what they want in League 2.
Who's your League 2 team?
Once for me.
What was that? I missed that. Sorry.
Crosby can do whatever he wants for me. He's a legend.
Why do we have to bring Crowsdale up in front of Stewart? It's like,
comfort blanket, definitely safety blanket, not comfort blanket.
Just going back to saying about young player of the year, could Bate get it? He's only 22.
Yeah. Only 20. Yeah, is he 22 now? Yeah,
he's 22 now. Yeah,
it's weird that he must have had a birthday in the past year.
No, but is he a young player? Is it only under 21 or not?
I don't know. Is
he
mate.
Still classed as a young player?
I don't know.
I can't wait for Saturday when we're talking like this with 10 pints down us.
They were a lot more underwater Bulgarian spoken then.
Oh, Rob Lander said he's under 23, so he could be in for it. But I still think there'll be too many votes for Pie.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. I wanted to talk about this aesthetics of football. So this really comes back to the discussion that's been had over the weekend, and lots of podcasts have covered this. So I thought we'd have our own say on it, if you like. And it was mentioned over the weekend in the derby, the Manchester derby, that the way that Pep's brought this tiki-taka gegenpress football in, play out from the back kind of thing, it's almost like they're becoming robots now, and it's killing the game. But obviously that's at the highest level. So I wanted to bring it here to say, does that affect us at our level? Are you bored by it? Because as far as I can tell, when we played Hartlepool in the National League, I think Charlie, certainly it was the first time I'd seen at Tier 5 a goalkeeper pass it to his centre-half who was stood next to him. And I think it was Ryan Johnson. And then they walked it out of the back. I'm sure I remember that right. I don't remember seeing it before that. So it's just a bit of a discussion of Charlie plays that kind of way. What do you think? Do you think it's a disease, as it's been put, or do you quite like it, the tiki-taka?
I wouldn't say it's a disease. I just think it seems that, as you say, they're too scared to lose the ball. So we've seen it at County. Yes, we do play that time, but we do tend to mix it up a bit. We don't always play out from the back. And I think you see it gets played out, and then you'll see it go out to one of the wingers, and you think you've got space, run at him or take him on, and they turn around and pass it back to the centre back because they're terrified of losing the ball. And I think that's what's instilled in them, is rather than take a risk and possibly lose the ball, but if you don't lose the ball, you pass the play and you've got space to run into. It's scared of, they've been drilled into you. You must keep the ball. Possession is everything. Possession is everything. And I think Dan said it in our group, didn't he? That's possibly why Forest are doing so well this season, because they're anti-possession almost, aren't they? Not the right phrase, but they're not bothered about you having possession, and talking about possibly Rotherham being the same. Whereas I think you look at your teams like your Man Cities, your Man Uniteds, people like that, they are just everything about possession. Whereas we like possession, but it's not driven our game. We can play long, or we can play it fast. We can play it down channels. So I think being able to mix it up makes it a lot better if you just want to play that. And to be fair, City have been very successful at doing it. But yeah, it just swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You pick that, you find that system, and it works. So everybody adopts that system. Like now, where we're seeing centre backs taking the goal kicks and passing it to the keeper. This is the first season I've seen that. It's like, what advantage is that having? I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it, sort of thing. But it's just, that's just the way it is. So then they'll find some way of counteracting that, some different style or anything. The same as, go back to talking about Football Manager. It's the same in Football Manager. Certain systems work better, and depending on what players you've got. So it's not nice to watch. There was probably the most boring derby that I've watched for a long, long time. Yeah, it was. It was shite. I think we kind of counter it, don't we? Charlie's mantra is intensity is our identity. So you can see that, can't you? And there are games when that doesn't really come to the fore because of whatever circumstances, players, all that kind of thing. Just the way the game flows, or the way the game goes. Because we've got Fevs and Diamond now, and I am really excited about them two in this running. By the way, I think they could unlock quite a lot for us. On Saturday, they were just going for it, weren't they? We were playing out from the back at times, but once it got to those two, it was like, right, go, see you later. Yeah. I'm gonna attack you. I don't know. Playing a 4-4-2. Yeah, or someone put it earlier, 4-2-2-2. Yeah, 4-2. Yeah, 4-2-2-2. Andy Stew, Andy Stew, have you got any comments on this? There's a few comments coming through in the chat. I'll put those up in a sec.
I don't mind playing out from the back, because one thing that Charlie said from the very start: engage the fans, make them excited. So if we're playing, and it doesn't always happen, I'm not saying it does, but if we're playing out from the back, but it's entertaining for us, I don't care. What I don't like is the playing out from the back and then referring to what Waggy was saying, that we're so panicky to lose the ball that we'll then just panic, hit a ball up top, and we lose it. What's the point? What is the point in all that? You've got to have the confidence. If you're going to play out from the back, you've got to have the players and the confidence to do it. And you've got to carry on with the pressing. And I agree with what Neil Deakins just said as well. It does all depend on the opposition's skill level as well.
Rusk ball.
I think it depends on the team doing it skill level, doesn't it? Because we've seen it, and if you can't play out from the back, you're going to give it away. You give it away, you're probably going to concede a goal. Personally, it doesn't bother me. So long as you're not giving it away, or County aren't giving it away, I'm not bothered whether we're just banging it long all the time or whether we are playing it out from the back. But Charlie he doesn't say it as much now. We play from the back, not at the back. Didn't he?
Yeah. That's a good shout. Yeah. As long as you're playing through the thirds, yeah.
Yeah. For me, like Waggy said, a defender passing it to a keeper on a goal kick's just fucking ridiculous. But overall, I'm not really bothered. As long as it gets us 3 points or it contributes to us keeping a clean sheet, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah. No, good shout. Maybe it's something we'll explore in future pods. A few comments on this, then I'll just read them out. Edward F. He likes playing out for the back. The game has moved on so much and the players are so much better these days. Corey has really good feet and an excellent passer of the ball. Mark Morley. Everyone tries it now and it's affected the game a lot. All this pitter-patter and side to side is boring. See, that's when you get the two, you get the different aspects and different opinions, don't you? Gazendo, it potentially affects down to grassroots. It does. My lad played, he's 16 now, my lad. He played for quite a decent team, not academy level, but quite a decent team, under 9 to under 12s. They were playing it out from the back and it would look like it was a top-end DFL game. It really did. Kids mimic their idols. It's down to grassroots coaches to show a blend of styles. And Dave Philbin, you're right, Dave. It's diluted football for me, effective when done well, but it's boring to watch. We mix it up, thankfully, which we do. Thankfully, yeah.
Football is an entertainment game. Should be.
It's a subjectivity of it, though, isn't it? We're all looking at the same thing, but we see something different.
Yeah, exactly that. And that's why I wanted to have a chat, because the aesthetics of it, I quite like the underlying data, and I use that to add that to like my experience of football. But as somebody else said over the weekend, your eyes don't lie to you. What you see, if it's shit, it's shit, and that's just your opinion, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
I don't know. My eyes must lie to me. if it's shit, I still think it's good.
You've got your beer goggles on.
Directions, Andy.
And Waggy, you missed a perfect time to quote Gladiator there, shouting, "Are you not entertained?"
Quick one on the Manchester Evening News article that came out today, I think, and it was on the Edgeley Park developments. This is one of my getting the reses, and I think it is Stu yours, but for a different reason. So it said, what was it? Something like really bad news about the Edgeley Park developments or concerning news. And then when you actually read the article, it was literally just the council had a meeting on the 3rd of April. The council haven't done anything with the planning permission. So can somebody in the council please do something with the planning permission, please? Basically, that's what it was, wasn't it? That's all the article said.
Well, it seems as if there's two different parts of the council, two different departments in the council which aren't talking to each other, and they need to talk to each other to move things along, and they just don't want to talk to each other for whatever reason. That's what came across to me.
So, if anybody listening is either in the council or knows somebody in the council, can you please? Can you please ask the council where it's up to, and get us an update? That'd be good. Because I'm assuming the club know about this and are just going, like us, get your shit together, council, aren't they? Basically, probably. So,
Andy, get on the bat phone.
Bat phone. I used to have a landline. Oh, well, my landline at home was called the bat phone. We named it in-house bat phone because only one person ever rang it, and that was Heather's dad.
Why was he Batman?
No, I don't. It was just only one person ever rings the bat phone, don't they? So
yeah. Usually Commissioner Gordon, isn't it?
no, Alfred, isn't it?
Lads,
No,
you've got half of up at tier 3 now going, what are they on about?
I know. No, because Alfred picks up the bat phone, doesn't he? Commissioner Gordon would ring it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we going to do like a reenactment?
Who shined the bat symbol up into the sky?
Well, that was Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner
as well,
Gordon,
Yeah. Right, there we go. There we go.
That's
He
when
gets around, Commissioner Gordon.
He does.
He needs to get a job on Stockport Council.
He does. The phone's working. Residential parking issues as well. I think that's probably a that was mentioned in the articles. Bit of a stumbling block. Excellent stuff. Right. We know it's not real, Batman.
What?
Someone saying Batman's not real. Oh, no.
Yes, Endo. He's just trying to get me back, isn't he?
Oh, in fairness, I thought he meant it's not real. The residential parking issue.
Next thing we're talking about Easter Bunny and Father Christmas.
I was just going to say, he'll be telling us Father Christmas isn't real next. Don't believe him.
Do some admin before we move on to County Ladies and getting reses. So, all of our podcasts are still there to watch, our live ones. I think I mentioned it. I don't think we announced it on the podcast, but Mike Flynn from next season has agreed to come onto the show once a month. So we'll be doing a pre-record with Mike Flynn once a month, just to talk about County. It's not about him necessarily, but obviously he's got a lot of experience, and we'll glean out of him as we talk. So that'll be good. A bit of a coup for us, isn't it? And the Kieran Maguire pod from The Price of Football is still there. And here's a bit of an excerpt from it. And I asked him, were the numbers scary? And, what does he think about that?
But football is different. Football is an emotional investment. Football is part of your history and heritage and identity of being part of Stockport. And it's the same, in the case of the club present with the owner. So therefore, the numbers are scary. To lose £7 million in a year at the level where County are at present, that's 140 grand a week. Somebody's effectively having to find that, and we know who's finding it. That makes no sense
So that's that. I mean, what did you lads think about that? Will the numbers scare you? You feel more comfortable after listening to Kieran Maguire, or what?
I think the thing that reassured me was that he was talking about good owners and bad owners. And he said Mark Stott absolutely is not a bad owner.
Yeah.
And it's just that bit of reassurance, because we know that football clubs are going to lose money. It's always going to happen. It's never going to change. But when you've got somebody like him saying that Mark Stott is a good owner, that'll do for me.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that backup, because we all knew he was we all know he's a good owner.
Yeah.
A lot of people, he'll come and speak to you openly in a car park, in the courtyard, or wherever. And there's not many owners that would do that. Most owners would turn up with security guards and what have you, and be escorted, and you'll never see them. But Mark doesn't do that. He likes to say hello. He'll stop and have a chat with you. But the interview itself, I thought was brilliant. What a lovely guy he is. And we said off air that I thought his analogies were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, cracking interview.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, a bit about County Ladies, because County Ladies, what we're on today, we're on the 9th of April, Wednesday. County Ladies play at Edgeley Park on Sunday. So Stu, you're our County Ladies correspondent. Do you want to give us a lowdown on what's going on?
Yeah, so last game of the season, home game against York City, home game, Edgeley Park. We're hoping, or they are hoping, to get 1,000+ crowd. Last season we played FC United at home, and it was 730 odd, which was a good crowd. But this year we're hoping to get over and above 1,000, because obviously there's been a bit more exposure about about county ladies generally this year. And there's been a real progress, particularly through youth development and things like that. There's also hospitality available for 20 quid.
Nice. What time's kick off, and how much is it to get in?
It's a £5 for adults, free for under 16s, 20 quid hospitality. You get half time, full time in the Vita bar, and you get pie, peas, and mash for your 20 quid and your ticket.
Nice. And kick-off time, did you say that?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, which is standing for ladies on a Sunday. So 2 o'clock Sunday, Edgeley Park, £5 in, 20 quid hospitality. Just try and break that 1,000 mark. Good stuff.
Your quick one, sorry, Russ. When we're talking about obviously the aesthetics of football, does that go into the women's football as well, Stu? Do you see a lot of it playing out the back and stuff?
It does at county. Steve has them playing out from the back, and they are very good at it. And they also play a similar sort of shape to Charlie. So in possession, we look like we've got a 5 at the back. Out of possession, your fullback, your left winger, let's say, will tuck in. Your fullback will become your left winger, and you'll just essentially end up with a 3 at the back. And then they'll sort of roll round, to use a Charlie phrase. If it switches to the left, they'll roll round. But yeah, they do. They play out from the back quite a lot, and it is good to watch.
Yeah,
cool. Nice,
good stuff. Yeah, nice. Okay, right.
I don't agree with Stephen Fosbrook's comment. I haven't been playing Football Manager. I've just been doing my own little research. Thank you. And like most blokes, I can't do 2 things at once and stare at a camera and my phone at the same time.
Fair dues. Right, getting reses.
Getting the reses.
Come on, getting reses.
Getting reses.
Getting reses.
That's
rubbish. Getting reses.
I'm not having that. Getting reses.
Before we do getting the reses, mention the walk.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Shall I just mention it?
I've got it written down here. I don't know why I didn't mention it. Yeah, right. Go on.
So the 5-4-3-2-1 walk, 5 blokes, 4 days, 3 charities, 2 matches, 1 goal. That's got 1 goal. That's on their link. So basically, Dave Thompson, Steve Cunningham, Jamie Redding, Dave Wardle, and Eddie Owen are basically walking. They're going to the Peterborough game. And then they're walking back over from, I presume, the Friday evening after the game, back to Edgeley Park from Peterborough in time for the Huddersfield at home, which is just, it blows my mind how far that is. So there's links all around everyone's social media. Have you got the link, Russ?
I'm going to put it into the chat now. Yeah.
So Russ will post it into the chat, and we will plug it as much as we can nearer the time. Just donate, get sponsoring, because it's an amazing cause. The 3 charities they're doing it for are the Community Trust, the Pure Insights 1628, and Men's mental charity. Brilliant.
Did you say it's 5 days, Andy? When you just said 5-4-3-2-1, did you say 5 days is how long it's taking, or?
No, 5 blokes, 4 days.
Sorry.
3 charities, 2 matches, 1 goal. And obviously the goal is to raise money for charities, not 1 goal over the 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we'll concede.
Good few 100 mile, that, isn't it?
Mm.
Fair play to him. Well done, lads. Fair play.
I'm not sure how far it is. 113 miles.
Is that all?
Why it's taking 4 days, yeah. That's why it's taking 4 days.
That's a brilliant effort, that, lads. Good luck.
Yeah. Right, back over to you now, Russ.
Yeah, game reses. Well, I've done mine, which was I did. Well, I kind of alluded to it. My getting the reses, I'll go first. It's very short this week. It is, I guess it's the hyperbole of articles and news things, because that I got suckered into that MEN article that said concerned about Edgeley Park developments. I was well, what's this bloody hell? And it was because a meeting had taken place, and so yeah, it's just the hyperbole. I don't like hyperbole and sensationalism.
Yeah,
I think it's not very becoming, is it? It's for needy.
Can you not use big words like hype? What?
Clickbait.
Well, clickbait. Yeah,
right,
no, I can.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, I do tend to be very sesquipedalian sometimes. Andy.
Oh, hello.
I try to dumb it down for depending on my audience.
Well, you need to completely dumb it down when you're speaking to me, mate. So you should know that by now.
So yeah, I suppose it's the hyperbole and sensationalism that can all get in the reses wherever it comes from. I don't mind. I'm agnostic when it comes to that. It can come from anywhere, and I think it's shit. So there you go.
Andy, don't worry. He swallowed the thesaurus this evening, but he'll shit it out tomorrow.
Thesaurus.
Will it come out as a fully binded Oxford English dictionary?
Right, thesaurus sounds like a ride from Camelot. Surely it's the thesaurus, is it not? Anyway, let's move on.
I can't believe he's actually asked you on how to say it correctly. He definitely has swallowed one. What an idiot.
Anyway, Andy, who wants to go next? Anyway,
well, I've got two, haven't I? So I'll do my football one first.
Okay.
It is similar to what we were talking about before. When the goalkeeper passes to the defender on a goal kick, the defender passes it straight back to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper just hoofs it. What is the fucking point? Just hoof it anyway. What's the point in passing it to get it back to then hoofing it? Anyone?
I agree with you, Andy. That was going to be my getting the reses.
Time wasting.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, cheers for that, Andy. Nice one.
Yeah, but what's...
No, I agree with you, mate. There must be some sort of technical bollocks around it, but what is it? It draws them on. No, it doesn't. They just sit there because they know what you're going to do.
Yeah, well, that's what I think. I think it is. It's all about creating space, isn't it? And is there this theory that if you pass it to your central defender, the players who are doing the high press, if they're playing a high press, will come into the box. The midfielders will push up behind them, and you leave space at the back, and it sort of creates that space in certain areas in left and wide, left and right spaces. But like you say, if Dave Philbin, I think he agrees with me, triggers the press and creates space if done right, but it's boring. Not only can it be boring, but also, like you just said, Stu, if you've done it once, then you're just gonna know for next time, aren't you? Yeah.
So is it going in Redders?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Vote for that, definitely. So does that cover yours as well, Stu?
Covers one of them, yeah. What was your other one, Andy?
Nice.
My other one is I like making pizza dough. I used to when I was a young chap, I used to work in a bakery for about a year and a half. So I'm quite good at making bread.
It's like Nessa, isn't it?
I still don't really know what you mean by that. So anyway, right. Someone recommended to me, "Oh, have you tried Jamie Oliver's pizza dough recipe?" So I'm like, "No, I haven't. Any good?" Yeah, dead easy, dead simple. All the ingredients everyone's got in the house. So I had a look at it, and the first thing is use the Italian 00 flour. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll just go into my Italian larder and pick out this Italian flour."
How many larders have you got?
Not that many.
2 larders on a stone.
Oh, you only got a Spanish one.
Yeah,
you didn't have the Italian.
But it's not just his recipe. To be fair, there's so many other recipes out there. Then you click on Google, easy recipe for this, that, and the other, and all of them have like the most ridiculous ingredient that nobody has, like a grated egg dust from a fermented dinosaur egg. You know, it's like,
yeah.
But I'm right though, aren't I? It's always like, I tell you who has the best recipes out there that everyone's got just general stuff in house, and that's Nigella's. Nigella cooks from pretty much what most people have. Other recipes have the most ridiculous ingredients. You're like, I don't even know what that is. Like rice starch. It's like what?
Yeah.
Where? I can't go to my local corner shop or spa and say, "Have you got any rice starch?" They'll just laugh at me.
So we think about Nigella. She calls it a microwave, doesn't she? Instead of a microwave, it's a microwave.
Does it have a spinning plate? If it does, I don't care.
Yeah, microwave.
With microwave with a spinning platte.
So it's probably not his actual recipe. It's probably my mate who recommended.
There you go. Look, dinosaur egg dust $1.99 in Aldi.
There you go.
on that mix and match aisle, where they bring in.
Is it fermented? Is it a fermented dinosaur egg?
That's $2.99.
Is it? Is that the premium version? The premium.
Yeah.
Cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't really know what my getting the reses is there. I'm just having a bit of a rant because I'm pretty annoyed.
Yeah, probably complicated and exuberant recipe books, isn't it?
Exuberant. I know what that one means. I know what that one means. I'm all right there.
What's yours, mate?
Mine is the Exeter assistant manager or whoever it was that was on the touchline for them, because the manager was in the stands, wasn't he? Because he was banned. I think it was around the 72nd minute, just past the halfway line into their half, we got a foul. Their player took our player down. He went onto the floor. The ball trickled out to the Exeter assistant manager. He picks the ball up and walked like about 10 yards past the halfway line into our half, 5 yards into the pitch, and put the ball down there instead of it being where the actual foul had taken place. So it was just fucking, we always moan about players doing it, but the assistant manager physically picked the ball up and walked 10 yards past our technical area and put it in front of our technical area. So he can get in the reses for that. That's absolute top shithousery, but what a wanker.
Well, it sounds like the Exeter weren't very nice in another area as well, because we've seen the footage. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen it. Dave Philbin, the Exeter Stadium announcement, getting there too, cheating out of historic victory, the prick. So I think I'm gonna say this right, for Dave. There was a race from the halfway line round the corner flag for that end, and then you had to race back. And it looked pretty close to me, but obviously I just saw whoever was filming it from the end.
What? So again, a race.
So the two fans, the next fan and Dave, sent halfway line. They had to run out to the corner flag at the touch line, back, and the first one back won, like a half-time thing.
Oh, have we got footage of this?
Yeah, it's doing the rounds. Yeah,
I think it's on X. We should have won it because Dave did the first leg and I did the second leg and nobody noticed.
What was funny though, I thought, and Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you remember the Plymouth fan who got tripped up by the other lad on the running towards? Have you not seen this? This has done the rounds as well. No. Anyway, Dave did I'm not having that kind of thing the way that happened on there. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, he got cheated out of it. So that can get in the reses as well. There we go. Okay. Anything more before we go? Special mention to the under-15s because they won the Floodlit Cup, didn't they? With a top goal that I was going to say Declan Rice would be proud of, and also a brilliant save as well. Which was,
what a save that was.
Yeah. And you got to think as well, they're under 15s, aren't they? So they're age 14 to 15. They're playing in full size Edgeley Park in full size goals as well, which I think
with
the FA are changing that soon.
Fans as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
didn't they?
Yeah. I think the FA are changing that shortly in terms of pitch size and goal sizes. Yeah, good stuff.
One more thing about the reses. Can I get something out of there?
Yeah.
Have you got your waders?
Yeah. I'm already in there, to be honest. It's the moaning about the Edgeley roundabout. It's been a breeze. Oh, it's been amazing. It's so quiet.
Yeah, I bet you've got no traffic round your way, then, have you?
It's brilliant. I'm getting
Everyone's
to work.
avoiding it.
Yeah. The first Monday, me and Heather were like, let's just go that way, see what it's like. We're prepared to sit in traffic for a little bit. Like, well, it's quicker than before. They can keep it short for all I care because we're getting to work so much faster than what we normally do. So, yeah.
Maybe, hey, pedestrianize it. Perhaps.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not going to happen now.
No. Good stuff. One last thing to mention. Let's hope that the sewage works and toilet paper is all sorted for Saturday in the pop side. I'm sure everybody heard about that. That's why there was a big tractor thing in the courtyard. And that's why the game got delayed as well the other day when the last home game got delayed because of that.
Fucking shit reason that, isn't it?
Whee!
Plus, can I just put something in the reses, mate?
Yeah.
The people on this evening news article who live round by the ground complaining about how busy it gets on a match day. Was the ground not there when you bought the house? Did you not expect that kind of thing to happen?
Yeah. Did you buy the house before 1901? No.
Yeah. That's mine.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, no, I can get in the reses. Last thing from David Whitehead. Yeah, we do mean the poop side, David. See, that's a dad joke, isn't it? Yeah.
That's a belt to that, Dave. Brilliant, that.
Love it. Right. I think that's it. Thanks to everybody for listening, watching, and we will see you somewhere on Saturday, probably the Armoury or the Courtyard or the Concourse.
Cheers. Thank you.
All of them. All of them.
Probably all of them because we're out. See you later. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Scarf Bagara War. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Remember, you can catch us every week on your favourite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreon members. Your contributions help keep the show running to bring the content you love. If you'd like to support the podcast and get access to exclusive special guest episodes, ad-free podcasts, and a monthly giveaway, head over to patreon.com/the Scarf Bagara War. And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates, behind the scenes content, and more. You can find us on X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at County Podcast. Lastly, if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review and share it with your fellow County fans. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Scarf Bagara War. Come on, County!